here at VIR, Virginia International Raceway, as we head down to turn 1, all the way from 6th gear into 3rd. Kind of in between 2nd and 3rd here in the Aston Martin, but kind of figured that 3rd would get better traction out here. Coming down into turn 3, downshift down, hit the apex, very important to get a good exit out of here, and into the first section here for S's. Sticking into 3rd gear just to keep the traction down, don't want to be spinning. Taking as much as the curb as we can through 5 and 6 as we get our first taste of the straight in this beautiful S section here that is a key feature of VIR. Taking up all the curbs, a little lift into turn 9, downshift into turn 10. You do want to make that apex. That exit apex does spit the car out a little bit, causing it to be unsettled, but into the double right-hander of 11 and 12 onto the very long back straight as we get a look at the old pit lane. Climbing all the way up to 6th gear, about 140 miles an hour at the end here, down into turn 13, 14, and 15 to enter sector 3. 3rd gear again, getting as much traction out as we can, hugging this curve here, full throttle to get all the way down, lifting early for 216, and light on the power for 16 and out on 17, completing our first lap here for qualifying. Now with iRacing we get 2 laps, so thankfully we get to go again, and we're going to try and do the same thing.
0.908.
Down to 3rd gear as well for turn 1. A little bit of a back end slide, but we caught it. Still up on the delta time. Missed the apex for turn 3, unfortunately, so we lose a little bit of time as we go to T-cam here. Climbing the curbs. And tried a little something different with being full throttle for this sector, and we lose the back end. And put it into the wall, so that is our qualifying done. Get a look here at the cockpit cam, and there it goes. Tried to save it out of the wall, but not successful. Alright, so we're here at the end of the formation lap. 30-minute official race here, starting P19 with our one and only qualifying lap. As we're going to hit the green flag here at VIR, and we're racing. Mercedes up ahead hits the grass. McLaren touches him, and he's off to the left. We're going to go 3 wide down the front straight, down into turn 1. As we gain a couple places.
Still there, hold your line.
Have a ton of free space ahead of us, so we're going to choose the normal braking line. Try and go around the outside of this McLaren. He gets a little touch, we get a touch on the door as well, as we're 3 wide at the exit of turn 1.
Still there.
Down into turn 3, we're still side by side with the Porsche, as there's a couple incidents ahead,
Keep to the left.
and we're going to take those free spots. McLaren checks up a bit, we give him a little zero-edge touch on the bumper. There's an accident ahead on the left. Porsche avoids it, comes back on. We're squeezed in the middle, I got to back out of it, and we're going to try and stick it in here to get this position on the Porsche. We're going to cut them off a little bit as we head up to the S's. Cutting back now to the start of the race here on the drone cam. There goes the Mercedes on the left after touching the grass. And we're going to take that place along with taking advantage of the McLaren slowing up. Down into turn 1. As you can see, everyone's checking up a little bit. 3 wide here. Porsche actually touches the McLaren in front and then door bangs us as well. And we're going to stick into the inside here. Porsche tries to stick it around, but we have the overspeed here. We switch the cameras here. There's a little touch. Porsche gets us there, but we're trying to avoid this accident here. Here comes the Porsche, and right in between a sandwich there on the Porsche and the Mercedes. we got the overspeed here, so we're gonna take this place here. Here's another look from track side of the incident ahead. The McLaren gets bumped from the back and goes into the grass. Here's the Mercedes that crashed on the left. He gets tangled up, squeezes the McLaren, and around he goes. Nowhere for the other cars to go, so it's just a car pile up at this point, and he's got some wheel damage, so he's going to pull over to the side. Cutting back now up the S's, we're sticking with the T-cam here after we've gained a couple places from incidents. As we get a look behind, and the BMW makes a fantastic move into turn 10. He looks up the inside of us, but this double right-hand corner, he gets squeezed pretty quickly and thinks better of it. And he's going to go ahead and slot in for the back straight. Cutting back to the cockpit here at the end of the lap here on turn 16-17. Mercedes on cold tires loses it on the exit. And as we take a look behind, the BMW and Porsche get into it, and they are crashed into the pit lane. Here's another replay, a look on it. Cold tires for the Merc. Can't hold on to it with the pull power, and unfortunately he gets tagged by the purple McLaren, and that is his race over. We took a look from the McLaren. He gets a little wide on turn 16, tries to full power it around the outside, and Mercedes is there. We're going to cut to the BMW and Porsche as Porsche pushes the BMW a little bit wide. BMW doesn't like it, and they're going to go ahead and crash.
Obviously people are fucking blind.
18.03.
30 minutes. I gotta get it all done the first lap.
As you can hear from the other drivers in the lobby, other people aren't very happy that lap 1 was very chaotic, as it normally is with cold tires. But as we go on to lap 2, we're up to P14. We've gained 5 positions on just incidents alone. As we get a debris flag here, and a McLaren is off to the side, cuts up in front, and it looks like it has some wheel damage, so he's going to pull off to the side. That's another position gained. We're going to cut back here to a replay from the beginning of lap 2 as the gray Porsche moves up the inside, trying to force some action into turn 1, going 3 wide. A couple door bangs to go along with it. The McLaren behind does not like it one bit, and he's going to make his presence known as he gives another door tap of his own, a couple more. And the great Porsche said, you know what, I have enough, and you're going into the wall. As the two make contact, and we're going to take a look from the McLaren's point of view inside the car. And round he goes, and that is his race over.
Car 2 has taken the lead.
We're going to jump ahead here to lap 5 as we're still P13 as we set a new personal best here. And we're going to take a look ahead as there's some action going on. And of course, it's the gray Porsche of number 20 trying to make some moves. And goes a little bit wide here into turn 4 and causes the McLaren that I am fighting with to check up, which means that I have a slipstream here going up into the S's as we cut back live. Unfortunately, there's nowhere for me to go, so I just have to slot in. McLaren behind also gains quite a bit of time as we go into turn 10. Porsche looks like he is trying to find a way around, as he's probably a little bit upset with himself as we get onto the back straight. Down the back straight, the McLaren is the quickest car here on this track with a much higher top speed than me. I unfortunately am not close enough to gain all the benefit of the slipstream, as the McLaren behind is right there behind us. He's going to go over to the left and make the move on me. He is much faster. I'm just going to let him go. I'm not going to fight this. Hopefully he can make his way up and slow the rest of the cars in front, and we can hopefully stick with these guys and take advantage of it. as we go ahead, completing the lap here for lap 5 as we move on to lap 6. McLaren is looking quick. He's looking for a way around the gray Porsche into turn 1. Porsche goes defensive. McLaren takes the normal racing line and into turn 1. The Porsche holds the position. A little bit of a checkup, but we survived and there was no contact made. Down into turn 2 and turn 3. McLaren's still looking to try and get by. Unfortunately, there's no way for him to go, so he's going to have to stick here between turn 4 and 5. He's slow as this part. It's got to be single file here. There's really no passing lanes unless there's a really slow car as we continue on to the S's for VIR. Sticking with the live camera here as we hit turn 11 and 12 onto the back straight. It's a little bit of an awkward position for the Aston Martin as it's in between second and third gears, so I opt for the third gear or more traction out of the corner instead of more power. I've had issues in the past with it slipping and I've spun in practice, so third gear seemed to do well for me. Can't catch the group, unfortunately, even with the slipstream, as the McLaren is way too quick. But we're gonna hopefully catch up here in a little bit of the corner as we complete lap 6. And the relative, we can see that the LMP3 class, as this is a multi-class race, comes about. And here is the first action of the LMP3s passing us on lap 6. Get a good look here from the T-cam. Down in the turn 1, the LMP3 wants to go up the inside, making it 3 wide as the McLaren and the Porsche are fighting. And that checks them both up and invites the other McLaren and us into the fight as we go through turns 2 and turn 3. McLaren checks up a little bit to try and get a run up and under from the Porsche, but the Porsche sees it. A little bit of a block in my opinion, but covers it off as we continue onto the S's. Coming back live as the rest of the field comes through for the LMP3s. It's a little bit of an awkward situation as we're all flat through here. I let the LMP3s go on the left-hand side to try and get a better run through the remaining S's. Down in the turn 10, the McLaren up front gets a little bit wide as the LMP3 comes through, and you can see in the mirror the LMP3 has no patience at all and forces his way up the inside of turn 11 and 12 as we survive this group of LMP3s lapping the field of GT4s.
You're losing on the car in front. The gap is 1.1 seconds.
Further down the back straight, another LMP3 laps us here on the outside of turn 13 and 14. There's another one in the mirror as this is a close class of racing. Sneaks up the inside of turn 15, completing lap 7 onto the front straight. Get a good exit out of here as the cars in front have to avoid the traffic of getting lapped. So we gain a little bit of time here. Another LMP3 comes through, and he's going to go ahead and slot in front of us as we go on to turn 1. Really important for these races to really have good traffic management. That is very key in multi-class racing, as we all know. And the McLaren up ahead looks at the white McLaren as he tries to make a move into the inside, but no room there as the LMP3 behind looks to get at the inside of this tight corner where it's only single file here, as he's going to have to be patient and go around the outside afterwards. Going up into the S's, the LMP3 gets the McLaren ahead, checks him up as he surely had to lift, which gives us an opportunity up the hill into turn 10 as we get a good
Faster
exit.
traffic approaching.
And we're going to try and get a good exit out of turn 12. A little bit awkward here as the McLaren goes a little bit wide. We hit a bump, so we can't get the traction out properly. And the McLaren ahead survives as the LMP3 tries to go around the outside, but a little bit of confusion there as that could have ended very badly for the both of them. Going up into turn 13 and 14, braking at the 2-ish meter mark. Going all the way down to turn 3, making sure we hit this apex to get a good exit. As another LMP3 is coming up quickly.
Faster car coming up quick.
And is not going to be any trouble for us as he is going to pass on the front straight.
Right side.
As we give a little check just to make sure. Completing another lap here at VIR. As the McLaren ahead tries to still find a way around the other McLaren. Thinks about going around the outside, but there's dirt and marbles over there, which gives us an opportunity here if we can nail the exit, which we did. So now, the McLaren's looking in his mirrors, goes defensive into turn 3, as we're just biding our time here just to make sure we have a nice clean exit, which is very important for overtaking here. Another LMP3 coming up, as he catches us at an awkward time. Normally they go around the outside, but he chose the inside. Gives us a little bump on the back bumper
Still there.
and gets around us with no harm done. McLaren gets passed on the inside of turn 10, and the other McLaren ahead, they both go wide into turn 10 on the exit. As we get passed up the inside of another LMP3, which I believe is the last one of this class, so we don't have to worry about them for another couple laps. As still some more confusion with the lap traffic as the LMP3 just doesn't know where to go, as it is a guessing game. GT4's just kind of got to stick to the racing line or just be very predictable. Beforehand, I tried to be predictable with going on the inside so that LMP3 can go around the outside. Didn't turn out that way, and in front here, the two McLarens, they make contact and they go off wide as we get a look at the overtaking McLaren. Hits the left back tire wall and crashes, taking them both out as we gain 2 spots, moving us up in the order. So now that we have some clean air in front of us, we're going to try and use this to our advantage. We're going to do some hot laps here as we try and move closer to the car in front.
55.058.
Cutting back to lap 14,
The car in front
turn
has
11
gone
and
off.
12.
Just off the head.
The 2 cars ahead have gone off, and we gain another position as we take a look here at the replay of what happened. 2 of the Porsches go wide, and the gray Porsche, who's been causing a lot of accidents this race, does a little spin, tries to wait for the rest of the group, but unfortunately cuts everybody off, having an unsafe release as he spins it around, pointing the right way, and continues on his way. So even though we were pushing as much as we could for the past 4 laps. We've only gained about a half a second, even though everybody is very close paced and they were fighting ahead. I just could not push anymore without spinning.
I was hoping to keep running with you, Alessio.
Sticking with the driver cam here, we're gonna complete lap 14 and head on to lap 15, the final lap of the race, as we have another spinner as the Porsche is off to the left, almost rejoins right in front of us as we take a replay of what happened. Porsche gets a little loose there, the Mercedes hits him, and we gain another position. We're gonna go ahead and keep on fighting for this spot here right in front as we are going on to the final lap.
4, 5, 2. You have about 2 laps of fuel left.
One more lap.
Picking this back up on the back straight here on the final lap. We're pretty close here. We're going to try and make a move into 13. We're going to cut down the inside, acting like we're going to go for the lunge to try and get them off and look in the mirrors, put them off a little bit. As the LMP3s, the leaders are coming up quickly. I'm focusing the car in front because I want to get this position here, focusing on a good exit. As the leader goes in front, here comes P2, and I don't see P3 of the LMP3s. I try and get into the draft, and unfortunately I make contact with the LMP3 on the final lap. Luckily there was no damage and no takeouts, no deaths, so we're good with that as we take a replay at the T-cam of the LMP3s coming through as we're trying to fight. I'm trying to get into the draft, try and get to the line, but we make contact and luckily everyone survives. So I hope you guys enjoyed this different type of video style I'm trying to do here. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you're new, as we're trying to roll out some more iRacing content here in the next couple of weeks as we get closer to the new season and the new UI and features for the GT4 class with the new tire model. If you haven't checked out my latest video, which goes over that highlights, go ahead and go into that one. And yeah, thanks guys, have a good one.